main question, the honourable member for Calgary-Currie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the next 10 years, according to the government's electricity transmission plan, there will be at least $14 billion worth of transmission lines built across this province. Now, the government is claiming that it's all vital that we build this now. In the United States, President Obama just announced $3.2 billion in spending on the smart grid for the entire United States. British Columbia's 10-year plan calls for just $2.5 billion in new line spending. So, to the Premier, why on earth is this province so far out of line compared to other jurisdictions?
The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, part of the critical infrastructure that is required is around $5.8 billion. And there's about four lines that are critical. But getting back to the Americans, I spent a considerable amount of time with the Western Governors Association and Secretary Chu, Secretary Vilchak, and Secretary Salazar. Their number one issue in the United States is more efficient transmission. They're having the same issue we have here in the United States. They are going through some unbelievable issues, of course, huge deficits and larger debt. But Secretary Chu was very clear. He says the only way we can reduce as quickly as possible some of the carbon that they're producing as a result of the inefficiency in transmission lines is start building new ones. And they're beginning to undertake that. That's nice to hear. And there's a lot more to come on that particular file in the United States.
The honourable member.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Speaker. The Premier isn't an expert on transmission needs. I'll admit I'm not an expert on transmission needs. But among those who are experts, there's widespread disagreement. But this government doesn't want to address that disagreement. It just wants to make it disappear. So it cuts the public needs hearing out of the regulatory process. No more controls on spending. To the Premier, where is the check and balance on the spending of billions upon billions of dollars on transmission lines? Where is it in the system?
The Honourable Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the Alberta Utilities Commission is responsible for making those determinations. And we know that we're growing demand in this province, the equivalency of size of the city of Red Deer twice in 1 year. We'll see another 50,000 people move to this province this year. You know, they're going to bring their families, they're going to be working someplace, they're going to be plugging their cars in during winter, they're going to heat their homes, and that's all increasing in demand. And another issue we have is moving some of the green power to where the consumer is. We've got some good cogen going on in the province of Alberta. We want to tie that in a very good, new, very efficient grid so that the next generation has the same opportunity as we all have to have electricity at their fingertip.
We'll have more electricity at our fingertips, potentially, than we could possibly imagine if we go ahead and build this gold-plated transmission system when we need something considerably less over the short term. The lobbyist registry is finally coming online, Mr. Speaker, but unfortunately it's too late for this particular issue. But billions and billions of dollars of Albertans' money is too important to let this remain secret. Will the minister table in this House details of the discussions he and his ministers have had with the companies who are in line to build these multi-billion-dollar power lines?
The Honourable the Premier.
Mr. Speaker, the need for more electricity in this province is very clear. We import roughly about 1.6 million kilowatt hours every year. That's how much we're short, and most of the time we bring that into the province of Alberta at the highest cost. This is all part of a general plan to make sure that we have very efficiently transferred power in this province, and also at a very reasonable rate. And I know, given the kind of construction costs we see across Canada coming down, especially here in Alberta, there's an opportunity to start on some of the critical infrastructure that's very necessary, and will actually help bring in more industry in the province of Alberta so we can grow more jobs and pay for all of these social programs that we dearly enjoy.
The Honourable Member for Edmonton Highlands Norwood, followed by the Honourable Member